Yeah.
Kelsey Mercer, The Athletic. Your bench was outscored 37-15 by the Knicks bench. What more do you need from them throughout this series, and what did you see tonight that is like points of emphasis for you guys to look at?
I mean, obviously, our bench has to give us a spark. We got to find a way to manufacture some buckets. How do we create for one another, and how does our bench support our starting cast? And we'll go back, we'll take a look at it. But at some point in time, you got to find a way, just put the ball in the basket. And I thought, that unit kind of struggled there. I thought Jetty was really good. He gave us a good burst. And then, at the end of the day, you can't give up 17 offensive rebounds. That's one of the things that, we continued to talk about. We were well aware, of what they were capable of. This is a wake-up call and a learning lesson for our guys. It's one of those things that we talk about. You can't explain or describe what a playoff game is like. You have to go through a playoff game and understand the physicality of it, understand, what you can and can't get away with. But, we talked about this before, and, our group is aware. We'll go as far as quickly we learn from our mistakes. We make these mistakes again, we'll struggle.
Ashley Best at Cleveland.com. JB, with the rebounding, it was pretty even in the first half. I think they had you guys by 24-23, but then the disparity was like 27-15 in the second half. Did something change on the glass? I guess, what did you see in the second half?
We have to be more physical. It's that simple. I think in the second half, they got back almost half their misses. You give yourself a chance in the fourth quarter, but you continue to give up offensive rebounds and give them second chances, third chances. You're going to have a hard time beating them. They're a good team. Your defense, I thought, did a great job for most of the night. But if you continue to give them opportunities, they'll find a way.
Brunson only played like 9 minutes in the second half. I think he sat early in the fourth quarter. Did it feel like those were maybe missed opportunities to not kind of pull away from them there without him on the court?
No, again, our guys are learning. We played a ton of guys, a ton of minutes who are learning what playoff basketball is about. We've talked about it. Like I said, it's like you have to experience it to understand it. And, this was our lesson. We experienced it, and we got to bounce back from it and, correct the things that we can correct, which I think there was a lot of.
Danny Cunningham, ESPN Cleveland. JB, overall, how do you think your group handled the physicality tonight?
I don't think we handled it well enough. I thought there were moments, but, you look at how we finished around the basket through their physicality and then the 17 offensive rebounds. So, again, you have to go through it. Tonight was a lesson for us, and we're going through it.
What lesson do you think Evan Mobley in particular learned tonight in his first experience?
Just how rough it is. The game changes in the playoffs. The rules change in the playoffs. What is, body to body in the regular season is not body to body in the playoffs. Again, I think it's a great experience for him. What I know about Evan is he'll take it to heart and, he'll adjust quickly.
Jason, The Athletic, are you still searching with your rotation on who you can trust?
No, we have our guys that we're going to play. The playoffs present, a game-by-game situation and what we need. And it's going to be judged by performance. And if you're playing at a level that we need you to play at, you're going to be the guy. We have guys that we know what they're capable of. But if we have to go deeper, we'll just go deeper because we're going to have to find guys that can be productive.
Darren White, 923 fan. JB, when you talk about the rebound, especially the offensive rebounding for New York, is it the length of the rebounds that's causing the problems for you?
There were some long ones that hit the ground, but, at the same time, the ones that are near and around the painted area, it's a matter of who's initiating the contact. There were multiple ones where we had inside position and we didn't come up with the ball. So this is going to be the story of this series, is can we limit them on the offensive glass? And if we can't, we're going to have a hard time winning. If we can, we'll give ourselves a chance.
Isaac back tonight. Just could you talk about what he was able to give you defensively after, missing nearly 2 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, that's hard, to be out and then come back in a playoff game, at this level of intensity for your first time. But I thought Isaac was Isaac. I thought he was solid defensively. He made it difficult on whoever he was matched up with. And he provided what we needed him to provide on that end of the floor.
Spencer Davies, basketballnews.com. Is he okay? He took a couple of shots there. In the fourth.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of shots to the face tonight. And I thought he took, the brunt of it, but he's fine.
Particularly with Jetty, as you were talking about what you like to see what you saw from him. Defensively on Brunson, what did you like about the way he sight through a couple of doubles at him up there at the top of the court and obviously made a couple of big threes?
I mean, I thought Jetty did a good job of just pestering him. There was nothing easy. I thought he disrupted his rhythm a little bit, just kind of jabbing at him and showing him different looks. So, again, I thought Jetty did a great job on both ends of the floor for us tonight.
Maurice Maintenance Chronicles Telegram. JB, and going back to the bench performance a little bit, were there any matchup things or anything specific you saw that was making it particularly challenging for them?
No, again, like I said, we'll go back, we'll watch it. But we've got to find, some sparks there.
You mentioned there were a lot of correctable things. I think Evan missed 8 shots in the paint. What else do you see that you thought looked correctable going against you?
I thought there were some personnel mistakes that we made. We allowed guys to get to their strong hand. We allowed the ball to get to the middle of the floor too much. The personnel on Hart he's going to crash the offensive glass. We allowed him to get 5 offensive rebounds. Those are things that we have to lock in on, do a better job of, and I think they can be corrected.
Last one, Ash.
I guess when you have a young group like this, what's the balance between not dwelling on mistakes, but kind of quickly having to turn around and learn those lessons? And how do you think these guys are going to handle kind of that balance?
I mean, I think they'll be fine. Our guys are very self-aware. They've been coachable all year, willing to work at what needs to be corrected. So, again, we'll take a look at the film tomorrow. We'll go to work on Monday, and we'll be better on Tuesday. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Kelsey.
Kelsey Russo, The Athletic. Darius, you guys, the offensive rebound was a really big factor tonight, keeping them off the offensive boards. What do you see? What did you see in that, and then how you guys fix that moving forward?
Offense rebound was kind of bit us a little bit tonight. I think it was 17, 7 in the fourth. That's by itself, so that was kind of tough. We just have to just turn around, box out our man. New York is a physical team, so we have to be more physical than they are down the stretch. We have to hit first, and I think we just kind of just laid down a little bit and just let them just get a couple important offensive rebounds, and I think that's what changed the game.
I mean, as we've talked about, and JB's talked about how a lot of this is just experience-based. You have to go through it. So experiencing your first playoff game tonight, what did you see that was different that you can take forward?
The physicality was definitely a difference for us. Like you said, a lot of us haven't played in it, so it was a good learning experience. Now we just go back, watch the film, and just see how we just change everything and just try to hit first. I think that they kind of just took us out of everything because they hit first and we just didn't hit back. I think we just laid down a little bit, and I think that was the game.
Tom.
Tom was Darius, did anything take you by surprise? You talked about the physicality and the intensity, but beyond that, was it about what you expected?
Yeah, the crowd was really into it. You really felt the crowd in the first quarter and in the fourth when it was crunch time. So, we expected all of that. We expect the intensity to be high. We expect the crowd to be into it. It was something that we expected. It was games that everybody played in before. It's just meaningful this time. So, it was really no big difference. It was just a basketball game for us.
Chris.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Darius, it seemed like early in the second half, JB took you off the ball, played you off the ball. In what way did that help you get going offensively?
Just seeing a couple go through. I think that kind of got me going a little bit. And then, they have to help. They have to make a choice. If Don handling the ball and I'm in the corner, and they have to just make a choice if they're going to leave me or let Don just go score at the rim or make a play from there. So that's all it was in the second half. And then when I started making a couple shots, they started staying home and Don got going. So, it's really pick your poison. We just have to just finish it on the defensive end.
Daryl Ryder, 92 the fan. Darius, you mentioned Donovan. Just what can you say about the effort that you guys got from him on both ends of the floor?
It was really good. We need that from him the whole series and beyond. It's really good for him just to see a couple go through and just get hot like that when we need him to. So it was a good feeling for all of us, for him as well, and everybody in the building to see a couple go through from him, get the energy back up in the building. And on the defensive end, I think he was great. A lot of effort. Even when he switched out on Jalen Brunson, there was a lot of effort, and we had a couple good stops and got out in transition and got a couple easy ones. So we need that effort from him all game and all year.
And New York won 6 of the intangible categories tonight. Just how do you guys flip that come Tuesday night? Because you're going to need to.
The intangibles?
Yeah. Bench scoring, fast break points, points off turnovers, second chance points, stuff like that. Just how do you flip that come Tuesday night?
I think we actually did a pretty good job just defending. We just had to come up with the rebound. So I think that's nothing that we really wouldn't change, but turnovers. I think it was like they had a lot of points off our turnovers. Just live turnovers were killing us, especially in the first half. That's when it just got going a little bit. So, yeah, I think the turnovers really killed us. Offensive rebounds is our main focus right now. We just have to just finish a possession, and that's when we get out and run, and that's what we do and be our best.
Danny Cunningham, ESPN Cleveland. Darius, how do you find a balance in terms of taking what the defense is giving you versus aggressively hunting your own shot?
Just have different moments. And just try to read the game. When Don got it going, I just try to find him as much as I can and just try to run the offense. Then, I mean, when it's early in the game, that's why I try to just be aggressive a little bit, but be aggressive to make the right play, not just to find my own shot. So, I mean, it's just a balance of the game, see how the game is going. If we need a couple buckets, that's why I go be aggressive. If it's like a tight game, I'm trying to make the right read as much as I can, but still be aggressive to try to find mine.
Do you think that your level of aggressiveness was where you needed to be tonight?
Yeah. I don't think so, to be honest with you. I think I could be a little bit more aggressive and take care of the ball in crunch time. I think it was a lot on Don coming down the stretch, just trying to go get his instead of just letting the ball move. And I think that's just on me, not being aggressive, not taking the shots when I'm open. So I'll take that.
Ashley Bastock, Cleveland.com, Darius. I mean, I know this year you guys have had a ton of come from behind victories. It doesn't seem like much rattles you as a group. So how do you think the response is going to be in these 2 days between games from you guys?
Let's go back, watch the film, see what we did really good, and see what we had a couple mistakes on. I know the main focus is going to be finishing possessions. So, I mean, it's a long series. Go back, watch the film, just see what happens.
Another Donovan question, just that play in the second quarter where he jumped over the scorer's table to save the ball. Like, what does it do for the rest of the team when you see a guy make a hustle play like that?
One of our leaders just do something like that. I mean, it just brings the intensity up from everybody. When we sacrificing our bodies, Mike's getting elbowed from Julius, even a little altercation when he pushed JA. I mean, that gets everybody fired up. That gets the arena fired up. So, I mean, we need those plays. I mean, it's just energy plays. So we need them throughout the series.
Nate Oliver, guy from the Journal. Darius, the other day we were talking about the roller coaster and how you knew it was going to be that. How do you kind of, as a leader, talk to other guys and make sure everybody's head is right, going into game 2?
It's a long series. I think we had them to 101 points tonight. 101 points. I think that's pretty good defensively. But like I said, we just have to finish possession so we can get out and running and be in transition and get open shots. So, I mean, we just walk around with our heads high, even though it was a loss. We come back Tuesday and see what happens.
Jeff Shidon, you said that you learned tonight that you guys have to hit first. So I'm like, was it more physical than you even expected?
Yeah, I'll say that. The refs let us play a lot. So we hit first and see how the refs react instead of being punched in the face and just laying down to it. I think that's the mentality that we have to have is go punch first, see what the refs just have and see what they do, see if they're going to blow the whistle or not. We just set the tone for the game like that.
Last one, Rich.
Rachel Hill, WOVU. Darius, she said that this was a learning experience for you, your first game. What's the single most important takeaway you have from tonight?
Need a good shot every possession. We can't just have wasteful possessions. I think the turnovers really killed it for us. 14 as a team I think that's a lot for a playoff game. So just taking care of the ball, just try to get a shot up every possession, just see if it goes in or not. I mean, we have 2 7-footers down there that's going to fight and battle for offensive rebounds. So just take the shot when we're open.
Okay.
It's brilliant.
Chris.
Sorry.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Hey, Donovan. What do you take away from this one?
Offensive rebounds. Sorry. Offensive rebounds. I think, we played well enough, especially defensively. We played well enough to win that game. And when you give a team 17 offensive rebounds, you put yourself in a bad position off rip. They had 100 points. It was 50 to like 47 or whatever in like the middle of the third quarter. We were guarding. Both teams were, but when you give teams second chances, Josh Hart had 10 of them by himself. They have guys that continue to crash the boards, and especially at timely moments. So he's got to clean that up, watch the film, and we'll be better.
How do you describe that feeling when you guard for nearly 24 seconds? You feel like you're executing the way that you are, and then all of a sudden, the ball bounces off the rim and goes to the Knicks again.
Yeah, it's a deflating feeling, but in the same token, there's no room for that emotion. All right, okay, we gave up 17, but how do we correct it? How do we move on from there? That's what the playoffs are. I can't sit here and say oh man, yeah, I can sit here and tell you, yeah, it's deflating. It sucks, and you feel like you're putting more effort in, but there's no time to kind of and be oh man, you know what I mean? So that's the biggest thing. And we're going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. We're going to give up offensive rebounds. We just got to limit them and then also rotate and scramble. We gave up 3 in one possession. We give up 10 in the fourth quarter, just timely ones, and if anything, foul. I told the guys, I think it was Ricky who had a foul on Hartenstein in the first quarter. Those are the fouls we want, be aggressive, take, at the end of the day, we'll take those fouls. And, I think that's just the biggest thing. And guys starting to learn what level of physicality the playoffs are like. At the end of the day, we missed some good ones, but we'll be good.
Danny Cunningham, ESPN Cleveland. Donovan, how do you think this group responded to maybe an up level of physicality versus the regular season?
I think just look at this game alone. I think to start to finish, we understood what it took, different levels, and there's things we can clean up and be better at. At the end of the day, I think, this sucks to lose the first game at home and lose home court, but I think there's a lot of teaching moments in this for us to go out there and fix in the film and get ready for game 2. Not hanging our heads and stuff that we can fix. We can control all these different things. And we played pretty solid, defensively, and in order, like I said, to win this game. But we'll be better. We'll fix it. We'll watch the film. We got 2 days to get right, and we got to protect home court.
Ashley Bastock, Cleveland.com. Donovan wanted to ask about the play where you jumped over the scorer's table in the second quarter. Number 1, were you okay with that? Number 2, what did you see on that play? What was going through your mind?
It's a bad shot. I shouldn't have been in that position. I think I should have attacked the rim first and foremost. And then on top of that, just doing whatever is necessary to keep the play alive. I appreciate, I was joking, I appreciate the people that moved out the way. I jumped at them intentionally and they moved, but it's all love. I'd probably do the same thing. But just trying, like I said, I took a bad shot and just try to make up for it, and that's the biggest thing. If I don't take that bad shot, I'm not in that position. So I put that on myself, and especially going in transition, getting into the rim and whatnot. But it's the playoffs. You got to do what's necessary. Every possession matters. No, I'm good.
Okay.
I just a scar. I tried to shower with, that hurts, but I'm good.
And then just, I guess, towards the end of the game, did you feel like the momentum that you felt the need to kind of take over on the offensive end, the way things were going? It seemed like you got into that flow later as the game went on.
Yeah, just starting to realize, picking your spots. And that's what I've been doing my whole career, and just finding a way to impact the game. And I think for me, I think they're trying to set that tone. And at the end of the day, that's what my job is, whether tonight scoring and trying to get guys open looks, draw the double, whatever it entails. And there are some shots that I wish I could have back, make better plays, but at the end of the day, that's my job, and that's what I'm supposed to do.
Donovan, when you make a play like the one Ashley just asked you about, when you're sacrificing yourself, jumping out of bounds and into the stands, what kind of example do you hope to set? You can say everything with all your words, but what kind of example do you hope to set for your teammates when it comes to what playoff basketball really requires?
Yeah, that this is what it takes. I think that's the only message. Understanding that, like you said, you can talk about it at the end of the day, but sometimes you just got to be about it. In many different facets, whether it's diving on the floor, getting a loose ball, diving in the crowd, just doing whatever's necessary, because there's no tomorrow. We're only promised at a minimum 3 more games after this. So like us, it's like, all right, like whatever, every possession matters, every second. And like I said, I took a bad shot and I had to make up for it. If we give up on offense rebound, we got to make up for it and get a stop. Like, no matter how deflating it may be, no matter what, we turn the ball over, we better get back on defense. Different things that, all right, if we screw up, then what? Like, there's no like, oh man, like we messed up. And I think, we did a pretty solid job at it. We can be better for sure. But for me, just trying to set that tone for sure.
From a leadership standpoint, what can you do between now and Tuesday night to make sure, your guys, especially some of the younger ones, since, the stage is new to them, make sure their heads are right?
Yeah, not to stress. Like I said, Evan Mobley's a hell of a player, and he didn't really have his touch tonight around the rim. Darius had a pretty solid night, but he can play better too. I can play better. Karis, everybody down the line. It's not just like, oh, Donovan's here, and it's like, all right, you guys, we can do this. We all could do different things, offensively, defensively, blown coverages, and it starts with myself. I hold myself accountable in front of these guys. It's like, look, like I'm not exempt from anything, and there's so many different things you can learn from this. And like I said, we'll be good. We got it out. I don't want to say we got out of ourselves. I want to use that, but like I think it was one of those things where we understand what it takes, and credit to the Knicks for coming in there beating us in the first game. We got 2 days to watch the film and get right, and we got guys that'll respond. I love the guys in this locker room. I love our fight. I love our effort, and for me, I hold myself accountable as well, and get ready for Tuesday.
Kelsey Rose of The Athletic, going back to the offensive rebounding, guys have talked about throughout the week how it was on the scouting report and something that you guys had to pay attention to. Did you see them doing anything differently that led to more of that?
Yeah, it's just like you're there, but more. I look at the one I had against Josh Hart. Like, yeah, I turned around and boxed him out. He still got it. There's more to do. Like, there's no room for, oh man, like he got this one. No, like that's not the mindset. So kind of coming out there with that mindset, like we were in positions at times to box guys out, but there's more physicality. There's more intensity that can be had. And so that's pretty much what I think we'll see on the film. Like I said, there's times where I look at guys and we're getting hits or we're turning around, making the effort, but there's just another effort to be made. There's something else that we can do. And I think the one more effort in that way, I think will help us in game 2.
And I know we've talked a ton about experience and how important this is. And JB was talking about how just tonight was important for that. How do you help the guys get that message across to this is part of that experience of seeing what the playoffs is like?
Yeah, like first off, this isn't like the end of the world. I think there's more of you guys around. There's more noise. There's more talk. It's more people are watching. So like you can lose one game at home and it can feel like the end of the world if you allow it to. So understanding that they came in there and took one from us, we got to go get one right back. There's no room to sit here and feel sorry or feel like upset and get down. It's one game. We will respond. I know us as a group, as a collective, and understanding that, look, we'll be fine. Like, you can't play perfect your first, playoff game for a lot of these guys. And, like I said, I've been in the playoffs every year and I didn't play perfect. There's so many different things we can take away from this game as a group. And I think, obviously tonight didn't go the way we wanted to, but we'll be ready for game 2.
JB said that he was looking for a spark off the bench. You didn't necessarily get that tonight. How do you, as a leader, go about inspiring that spark off the bench for those players coming up in game 2?
There's so many different things you can look at. I think Jetty Osmond played, very well in his minutes. Like I said, we missed some easy shots. We missed some simple rotations. And I think as a whole, like just understanding that it's okay. Like, you know what I mean? And not like there's things we can correct, but like I said, it's one game. We'll be back for game 2, and just that's kind of just the message I've had for everybody. Like, it's okay. It's not something to hang our head about that we gave up our home court. We just got to do our job, be ready for game 2. And that's just the message I have. And the spark will be there. We'll be ready. I think, we, like I said, we have the group that's ready for it. And tonight wasn't our night as far as shooting and different things. And for us, we'll respond.
JG,
JojiCavs.com, Donovan. Evan struggled from the floor,
Mhm.
and Jay, I think, didn't had 4 shot attempts through the first 3 quarters. How important is it to establish your big guys for game 2 and then moving forward?
Big time, especially when they're trying to trap myself and Darius. We tried to use it in the third quarter a bunch, but they did a good job of stepping up and trying to take away Evan and then also take away the lob. So, different, like I said, we'll watch the film, and I don't have every answer on top of my head right now, but good thing we got 2 days. Gonna kind of look back and get it going, and figure it out. Those are 2 very key, important guys to our offense and our defense and to our team's success, and finding ways to get them going, getting some easy ones. And like I said, at the end of the day, Ev missed some easy ones that he makes. And, I think he knows that. And, it's sometimes the ball doesn't go in the hoop, and understanding that that's a big part too. But we'll also continue to go out there and make sure these guys continue to be involved in the game, whether it's through hitting them off the double or hitting them on lobs. I missed J.A. on a lob to start the fourth quarter, and we talked about that. So understanding that, like, there's stuff that we can do as guards and other guys to get them involved as well. And like I said, we'll look at the film and we'll be better.
Donovan, Mark Schwab, 19 News. Some of the bench guys, but also some of the starters, just a lot of guys have problems getting shots to go down. Is it just one of those nights, or did you feel guys were pressing at some point?
No, we got good looks. Isaac Okoro is the first guy that comes to my mind. His first few threes were great looks. He just didn't make them. Look at Karras, went 0 for 3. Karras has been shooting the ball really well up until the end of the season. So like I don't think guys are worried about that. The ball will go in the hole, but just continue to take those shots. That's the biggest thing, and especially in the playoffs. If you stop taking them, that's when you're a little concerned. I don't think we have guys that'll turn those shots down. They're going to continue to be those same open looks. That we see how they're going to play us, and just get your reps in these 2 days and be ready for game 2.
Hey, Donovan, Wiley Jahari, Spectrum News. You kind of have been answering this question, but I'm going to ask, since you've been saying, it feels like the end of the world and it sucks to lose game 1 at home, but is it mentally challenging at all, and how do you navigate that with your teammates? Your experience. So how do you
if you allow it to, but I don't think we have guys that allow it to. I think we have guys that are very mature for being young guys. I think there's an understanding that, we as a whole can play better, and I think that's the biggest takeaway from this game. Now, if we played perfect and we played really good basketball and then lost, then yeah, maybe that's a different answer. But we have a lot of things that we can control outside of just making shots. Like outside of that, like alone, we have so many different things that we can, do defensively, rebounding, turnovers, whatever it means, not letting a guy get middle. And then on top of that, Josh Hart makes a tough 3 at the end, and we're right there. So there's things that we can definitely control as a group, and I think that's the message, and I think that's why guys are continuously, I think guys will come into game 2 ready, understanding that that's what it takes. There's a lot of stuff that we can fix, and we'll be ready.
Last one, Daryl. Right in there to do the fan. Donovan, you only lost by 4, and when you look at a lot of the intangible stats, from bench scoring to fast break one, second chance opportunity, and that. It just emphasize how tight playoff basketball is. Just those, if you could get those flipped Tuesday night, the story's much different.
100%. I can tell you right now, if I don't come down and shoot that bad shot in the first quarter, and then I don't come down and shoot the air ball the next play, that's 2 possessions right there that we get back, and that's just off of my offense. If I don't come down and try to draw a foul on Josh Hart and throw it off the backboard, that's another possession right there. There's a possession where I had to step back and it got blocked. It's a bad shot. Like, those are 4 possessions right there that I can tell you that are just my own faults, So I think understanding that what playoff basketball is, it's a possession game, especially against a team like this. Every possession counts and matters. And like I said, we'll go back, look at the film, and be better. That's all you can ask for. I think, lost by 4, there's definitely a lot of things we can do better. And like I said, sometimes the shots don't fall offensively, but our defense is one thing that we have our staple on, and we played really good defense, and we just dug ourselves a hole with the offensive rebound. So watch the film, take these 2 days, get ready for game 2, and be ready for Tuesday.